It's Friday, February the 11th, 2022, and let's rock and roll. I always start with all things COVID. Boy, it'd be nice whenever I can get to a point where I don't have to start with that. But as you will see in my email, cases are going down. Things are actually beginning to look up a little bit. Transmissions are still pretty high. So, what that tells me is that even though things are definitely getting better, that there is still a very high transmission rate for this Omicron, and we still need to be very careful. We need to continue our diligence in our masking and keeping away from large crowds, using as much physical distancing as we possibly can. We still need to be careful. Um, we'll definitely keep all of our protective actions in place, our infection control actions in place at our offices. But I really urge you when you're at home and in the community to really stay diligent about this. It ain't over yet. Um, Speaking of things that we can do to keep ourselves safe, we still have plenty of masks. So let your supervisor or site administrator or your risk officer know what your need for a mask is, and we'll definitely be able to accommodate that. But we have very minimum supplies of those free at home test kits. Our shipments from HRSA have been dwindling, getting lower and lower each week. And I think a lot of that is because, there is a federal website. If you haven't ordered your free 4 at home test kits from there, I put the link in the email. Go ahead and get those on the way. They're taking a little while to get to us in some cases because there's been such a huge demand. But also remember that DHEC has plenty of free test kits, both antigen and PCR. I mentioned this last week in my video, and that's really important. Both antigen and that PCR test, and it's quick. The results come back. Well, the antigen test results are, right away, but the PCR test results come back pretty quick. So that's pretty good. Um, and a few other things, approval is imminent for infants and children up to the age of 5 to get the new Pfizer vaccine. It's the vaccination has only been available for children above 5 years and above that, and now it looks like it's very imminent for there to be an approval of the literally 0 to 5 year olds. We will be giving this in our pediatric sites, and we will be doing it for both our established patients and for the community at large. So please let me encourage those young kids, young children have really suffered under Omicron because they haven't had a vaccination, and there have been hospitalizations and deaths amongst that age group. So let's help get our kids protected, our children protected. I've had a lot of people ask me, "Is there going to be such a thing as a new normal?" I wish I could tell you. I have heard this week from several leading experts in virology and infection control and epidemiology and all sorts of specialists. And this is a really difficult thing to say. We don't really have a crystal ball. I know you saw the one that I had the other week, but it ain't working for this prediction. There will be a point where we can begin to look at, you know, relaxing and resolving some of the precautions that we've had to make. But a lot of the discussion is that, frankly, COVID may never completely go away. We will have to learn how to manage it. And what that looks like, I don't know. We don't know yet. Um, that's the thing that I think has really confused a lot of people. Why don't we know? Why aren't the experts correct when they say, you have to mask for this or don't mask for this or what have you? Well, this was such a surprise virus, so to speak. And it's really caught the entire world, the best of experts, completely off guard in how it behaved and what it meant and how to handle it. So don't get discouraged. Just understand this is going to be a continued bumpy ride for a little while. We'll do the best we can, but there could be a lot of changes, a lot of developments. As you will see in my email, I did post some information, some of the graphs and some of the other information, particularly the map where it shows each county and where we are at with transmission. And unfortunately, most of our counties right now are still in a red zone, so to speak, that says, yeah, things ain't too good yet. Transmission rates are still pretty high. So we got to sit tight for a little while. I'm going to move over to other things other than COVID real quick. Something to share with y'all. There is a report that we have to do annually and report it to the feds. It's called the Uniform Data Set or UDS. Now, let me tell you, this thing covers everything that we do: patient demographics, staffing, quality performance, financial. It's pretty comprehensive. It is due February the 15th, next Tuesday. I hope that by the Friday video next week, I can have some takeaways for you, some of the things that we learned, and share with you some of the key tidbits that come out of that report. So sit tight for that. That is a very difficult report. It takes a lot of us, a lot of manpower to get all of that ready for submission. So just bear with us. Speaking of data and results, the staff satisfaction survey results are in. They've been compiled, kind of sliced and diced, and I formed a work team to be able to really do a deep dive in this. We are participating in a national work team around workforce well-being, and many of the folks that are on our CareSouth internal work team also participate on that and are learning some very interesting things from healthcare organizations across the United States. That team is going to consist of Peggy Foster, Jerry Andrews, Joe Biddle, Randy Carlisle, and Dr. Janiqua Duncan. And we're hoping we can get some things developed that'll come out as a result of what you've told us on the survey. Remember, you've always already told us, and we've already got underway this employee assistance agreement for access to confidential behavioral health counseling through McLeod. That is definitely underway, and stay tuned. We'll start giving you details on that as progress is made. Um, as I look at my notes, I'm going to finish up with two things. I haven't forgotten the quiz, but I'm going to finish up with some really good news. March every year we announce our year-end incentive bonus. Last year we couldn't do it because we didn't have a profit. That year-end incentive bonus is based on, first off, having a profit. Our Chief Financial Officer, Tim Walters, has shared with us that we will have a profit in the calendar year in December 31st, 2021. So that is some really good news. We will have an incentive bonus that we will be announcing in March for the calendar year 2021. Okay, so for my quiz question, let me see what I want to ask y'all to respond to today. And by the way, that email, quiz at CareSouth, um, I put it in my email that goes out to you, is working. We figured out why some of you didn't get it, and we've corrected it. So if you're working remotely, that email should work. So my question is going to be, and it's going to be once again a true false statement. Is it true or false that there is soon to be released a vaccine for children ages infant 0 to 5 years old. True or false? All righty. And I'm going to close out with Happy Valentine's Day. It's Monday. Valentine's Day will be one of my favorite holidays. I look forward to it because in my mind, I'm telling myself that that means spring is on the way and this cold, dreary winter is about to be over. I've worn my Valentine color even today. So, y'all stay safe, have a good weekend, and look forward to a little Valentine break and that incentive. Take care. Bye bye.